Welcome back, everybody. This is Steve, KM9G. And as you saw in the title and the thumbnail, I've got some breaking news for you about the Raspberry Pi product lineup. Today, they released the Raspberry Pi Zero 2W, and this is evolutionary. Not revolutionary, but evolutionary, meaning it's better than the last one, but still completely usable in its original configuration. This is a drop-in replacement, but it's so much better. Let's take a look at the specs. First off, they're targeting $15 for this thing, so it's $5 more than it used to be. This is Raspberry Pi 3 level performance in a Raspberry Pi Zero form factor. So you're going to get your Wi-Fi, you're going to get your Bluetooth, and you're going to get your 1 gigahertz processor, but there's more. So let's take a little bit of a look down at some of the specs. The biggest thing that is changing is the RP3A0 processor. This is Raspberry Silicon, kind of like how Apple's doing its own silicon. This is Raspberry Silicon. They're doing their own chips. At its heart, it's still an ARM Cortex processor, but it's their own design, which is pretty good. Check out that camera lens. I didn't know you could get a Raspberry Pi CSI camera for that, of that kind of quality. It's a CSI 2 camera port instead of a CSI port like the older one, but it's backwards compatible. It did not change the USB configuration because they're trying to make this a drop-in replacement, so you don't need to do too much changes to enjoy this upgrade. But here's where we get into the specifications. It's still, like I said, a 1 gigahertz processor, but now it's a quad core, so there's 4 cores instead of 1 core, and it is a 64-bit processor instead of a 32-bit processor. You still get the same 512 megs of RAM. You still have 802.11 BGN wireless. We've got Bluetooth, we've got mini HDMI and USB on the go. So this is a USB host as well as a USB device. Micro SD slot, just like it was the CSI 2 compatible camera connector. It's got the standard 40-pin hat connector, the GPIO connector that all Raspberry Pis have. Well, almost all of them. And then it can do 1080p 30 video decode, which is nice now that the processor's got some better power. Still has the OpenGL, and then the composite video and the reset pins still exist inside, and it's the same footprint. So let's take a look at these specs compared to the original Zero W specs. In the original Zero W, you've got the BGN wireless LAN, you've got the Bluetooth low energy. Here's the big difference is the single core CPU still at 1 gigahertz, but 3 less CPUs. Same amount of RAM, same HDMI and USB, same USB power, same hat, same composite video, and then the CSI 1. So it's 4 times better for only $5 more. I realize that's a 30% price increase, but from 10 to 15, anyway, it's just math, folks. Don't worry about it. Where I think this is interesting is another new channel that I want to interest you in. And this is KM6LYW. And KM6LYW has been doing these Raspberry Pi Zero projects where he's getting you a complete station inside of a Raspberry Pi Zero setup. And he's got some tweaks to make it more powerful. And he's got the whole thing set up so that it's operable as a web page. So that's pretty cool. I will leave a link down below to the Raspberry Pi Zero W where you can order yours. And I will leave a link to the KM6LYW channel. Over there is a video that I think that you would like to watch next. Thanks for being awesome. We'll see you in the next one.